Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to make gym choices. I'm going to show you how to support the author, and then I'm going to show you how to add gym choices in your story. Then I'm going to teach you about labels, what to do with them, how are they important in the story. And lastly, I'm going to show you how to change opacity in your overlays, how to fade it in, fade it out, whatever the case may be. So the first thing what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do the gym choices first. I'm going to show you how to do the support the author. Then I'll show you how to add gym choices into your story. So the first thing I'm going to do is the support the author. So before you make a choice, because that's exactly what this is, it's a choice. So you want to add dialogue before any choice you make. So I'm going to say narrator, and I'm going to say, would you like to support me? Question mark. And then you got to enter the word choice. Then you open up a bracket, and then you enter the word gems, and then you put a colon. See, they have a certain amount of gems you can enter. I think you can't enter 2 gems. There's no such thing as a 2 gem choice. I think the lowest one is 5, and then you close it just like that. So that's the gem. That lets them know that that's a gem choice. And then so when they click that button, I want it to say, "Here's 5 gems." Close the bracket. Close the quotations, open up a bracket, and then when they click that button, it's going to say narrator. It's going to say, "Thank you so much." Exclamation point, close the bracket. Really simple. Let's do one more. So then I'm going to open up another one into the word gems, colon. I can put in 22 gems. Let's use 22 gems. And then they closed it for us here. And then I'm going to say, "Here's 22." Oh, I put a capitalized here. Let's say, "Here's 22 gems." Close it, open up a bracket. And then I want to say, narrator. And say, "Thank you so much." Exclamation point. And close the bracket. So as you can see, make sure you open up your brackets. Make sure you enter in your quotations. I showed people how to make a choice in my previous video, so make sure you check that out if you don't know how to make choices. But this is how you make a gem choice. Now, the bad thing about this is you won't be able to preview it in the app. I'm sorry, on the website. You'll have to go on your app to see if it works, but it usually does. So we can see right now to see. I'll show you what it looks like. See, as I said, you can't preview the gem choice here. It just gives you like this. It just makes it say this. But I just checked it in my app and it works just fine. But one thing I did forget to mention, and that's totally my fault. I totally forgot to mention it. Make sure you name the premium choice. Since this is a premium choice, you must name the choice. So I named it support the author. This is what happens if you don't do it. So all you got to do is open up a parenthesis, name the choice, and you're all good. This is what happens if you don't name your choice. And like I said, I totally apologize for not mentioning. It's totally slipped my mind. Make sure you name the choice. This is what happens if you don't do it. You forgot to name your premium choice, and it shows you how to do it. So make sure you definitely name your choice. Really easy to do. So that's that. So on to the next one. Next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to add gems, make readers purchase gems, purchase a choice. That's what I meant. I'm sorry. That's what I meant. How to make a reader purchase a choice. So like we can do something like if they purchase one choice, we can give them 2 choices and then they'll have to choose between one choice. If they pick this choice with the gems, they'll probably go to the mall. And if they pick the one with no gems, they go home. Something like that. Warning though, a lot of readers don't like choices like that because you're forcing them to do that. They don't like it. So yeah, you're just warning, you may get a little hate if you do it. But I'm still going to show you how to do it. So first we're going to come out with a background and I'm going to place my characters. And I'm going to show you how to do this. All right, so I just did a little setup here. I picked a random just background. I did a little spot directing with Anna, and then I just did a small transition. And then I had Anna think, what should I do today? And you can put this, if in order to get this, make sure you put the what you want them to say in parentheses. That's how you get them to be, that's a think bubble. So that's how you create that, in case you didn't know. So now we're going to make choices. So if we want to go to the beach, I want to enter in a gym choice. But if you want to go to bed, it's going to be a free choice. Again, choices like that, again, readers do not like it, because you're making them, in order to have fun, they have to spend gems. And a lot of readers don't like that. So I'm giving you a warning, but I'm still going to show you how to do it. So first thing we're going to do is choice. Remember to have narration before, some type of dialogue before your choice. So choice, and I'm gonna name this choice fun. Just because you need to name it when you entering gems. And then I'm gonna open up this here, and I'm gonna say gems, and let's say the 5, and then I wanna close it. And then I'm gonna open up some quotation marks, and I'm gonna say go to the beach. And then I'm going to close it, and then I'm gonna open up a bracket, and then I'm gonna make a whole little scenario what happens if you guys spend 5 gems to go to the beach. All right, so I just made a little scenario. So I had her clap her hands, and then I had her walk off, and then she's at the beach, and now she's, happy that she's at. All right, so I'm gonna paste this here, and then I'm gonna do like a small, just going to do a quick storyline here, then I'll get it back. All right, I just did a quick little scenario. So if I say, nah, I want to go to bed. So then she walks off sad. Then she enters her room crying, something real short. But like I said, when it comes to gems, for some reason, the website don't show it. So you'll have to go into the app on your phone to see exactly what it looks like. And I did that already, and it works. So the one thing I will have to say, though, is like I said, a lot of readers don't like when you make them choose something fun versus something really boring. A lot of readers don't like that. So prepare for some hate mail if you do. But they click go to the beach. This is what happens. She spent 5 gems. She walks off. She's happy. Everything's pretty nice. And then fade out. And then now she's at the beach happy. And if we was to go back to preview, we want to say, nah, that's the free choice. That's if the reader chooses not to spend the gem. She walks off sad. Um, and then she will enter her bedroom. And now she's crying because she really wanted to go to the beach. So, like I said, this is something really, really basic and really, really simple. And like I said, it don't show on the website the gem option. You will have to use your phone to see it. But like I said, I looked on my phone and it works like this. Just make sure to label the choice. You must label the choice. Otherwise, it won't work since this is a gem option. Make sure you add your quotations in your brackets. So you do this and it will work. So that is how you give readers a choice when it comes to story. Like you can do something totally different. Like if they want to go to the club, you can add that for 5 gems or whatever you want to do. Or they get a whole different outcome if they spent a little money. Or you can even change it into like a dressing game. You can make it a dressing game when it's like a choice of 3 dresses, but the most fanciest dress costs 20 gems or 15 gems. However you want to do it. There's different ways to add gems into your story. I can show you guys how to do a gem dressing game if you guys want me to do it. Just leave a comment down below if you want that. But this is just a different scenario type of gem choice. So that is how it goes. So next I'm going to show you all about labels, what is labels about, and how important it is. All right, so when it comes to labels, it is important when it comes to making choices or to figure out which part of the story you're at. Meaning, so let's say we're doing a choice and I want to reference, and there's 2 choices, but you want them to come together to one ending. I'm going to show you what I mean. Or not even ending, or one come back. You want the story to come together even though two different things are happening. That is what labels do. That is one of the things labels can do. Labels can be good for dressing games. Labels can be good for uh hair changes, all this other stuff, but I'm going to show you how labels can be used in your stories. I can go more in depth about labels and dressing games, hair changes, and all this other stuff if you guys want me to. But right now, I'm talking about labels when it comes to choices. Since choices, everyone asked me to talk more about choices, I can definitely do that for you guys. So when it comes to labels and choices, what I first want to do is let's do let's just say let's just pick a background first. I want to pick her bedroom. She was already in there. We can just continue her being there. The reason why I erased everything is just so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You guys won't get confused with all the coding. So anyways, back to the story. So I picked her bedroom, and then I'm going to say we're going to give her two choices again, right? So what we're going to do is she's in her bedroom. I'm going to cut to zone 2. Anna stands screen center and Anna faces left and Anna is think rub chin, and then that looks good. And then we're gonna do another choice. So let's do choice. Go. This one can be, we're gonna make these free choices. You know, these are gonna be free. Just for the heck of it, right? Open up quotations, go to the club. In quotations, open up bracket, and then we're gonna say Anna, well, I'll put number 2. Anna is react. Clap hands. Pause for a beat. And then we're gonna have Anna exits left. Transition. Select 3. And so this is all that's happening when they choose this first choice. All right, so I just gave my first choice. So they say go to the club. I have Anna exiting, and then she's in the club dancing, and then they say a little while later, that's what happens. Or we can say for another one, they can say go to the beach as a second choice. Go to the beach. Oh, I'm sorry. Make sure, quotations, go to the beach. Open up a bracket, and then we want to say Anna left. And then I'm gonna just make up a scenario here, just a short one. All right, so I just created a quick little scenario. What happens if she wants to go to the beach? Just a quick scenario. Now, here's where labels come into play. So now, even though we have two different scenarios going on, I want them to come together again, because some people I know, they will just go and make a whole different story if they choose to go to the club, or a whole different story if you choose to go to the beach. But, you just want them to go out and do their separate things, and then they come home and the story just kind of ties back together. So two separate things are happening, but they all come together into one, back into the story, right? Even though they're doing two different things. So that's what label's going to do. So even though they're one going to the club, one going to the beach, having two different experiences, I want them both to come home. So first thing I'm going to do is add the label. So I'm going to say label. Let's do label. And I want to put this label. I want to name this label home. So that is how you name your label. Is first of all, put in label, and then whatever your name of your label is. Remember, you can't use spaces. It has to be letters, numbers, maybe even underscores or dashes, but it can't be no spaces. All right, so how do we so this label is important because this is what I'm referencing to when I want the story to come to meet together. So what I mean that by that is, so after this, I don't want her to go to I don't want to continue this story make a whole different story using this choice. So I want to get out of this choice afterwards. So I'm gonna say go to. So when I enter go to, no spaces, this takes us to this label here, which means we're starting a whole new storyline. So I'm gonna say go to home. So this means I'm going to this label. That's all that means. So I'm gonna do the same thing if they choose to go to the beach. I'm gonna do a transition though. And I want to say go to home. So both of these, so after they get done going to the club partying, they'll go to this label. After they get done going to the beach, they all come to this label. And then I'm going to make a little storyline for this one. All right, so that's basically what I did. Just made a short story. Again, I don't want this to be too tedious to look at or too tedious to read. So I just made something quick and simple just to show you what I'm talking about. So I made a choice for her to go to the club, a choice for her to go to the beach. So after I make the story about her going to the club, I want her to go home. And after she gets up going to the beach, I want her to also go home just so the story meets somewhere. Just so we're not going on two different storylines here, just so we can get back to what the story is about. So let's see if this actually works. And I'm sorry, something I did forget to mention. Make sure you put dialogue before your choices. Otherwise, it's going to give you an error. So I made some dialogue by the narrator saying, what should I do today? So make sure you put dialogue before your choices. I say it 100 times because it's really easy to forget. And you just go into the choices and then you get an error. So make sure you put that. So then now I have my choices here. It looks like the choices are working. So as you can see, here's my two choices. Go to the club, go to the beach. Let's see if the club is working. Then I have her exiting. I have my label here. This is her having some dancing. And then me narrating say a little while later. Fades out. And as you can see, back home. Because I use that label, I'm telling the story after she gets done clubbing. I'm telling the story I wanted to get back on track. I wanted you to go to this label. Now let's see if it works for the second one. Again, two choices. Let's try the other choice. Go to the beach. She's having fun on the beach, and it says a little while later. Again, same thing. Back at home, what a long day I had. That is what the importance of labels is. Well, when it comes to stories like these, after you have your readers pick two different situations, you can have them come back into the story after having two different situations happening. That is the importance of labels. So again, you create the label by putting label, entering what you want to name the label. Make sure there is no spaces. You can add underscores and a bunch of letters, but no spaces. And to refer to a label, make sure you press enter go to, and then the name of your label. So that's what I did. My label name is home. I say go to home. This is what it is, and this is where I went to for both of these. So as you can see, two different choices, but they all came back to this one label. Does that make sense? If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. Lastly, I'm going to show you how to change the opacity of your overlays. Let's get started. All right, so this is how you enter overlays. So you make sure you put at overlay, the name of your overlay, create, at overlay, name of your overlay, opacity 1. Opacity 1 meaning it is completely visible. If your opacity is not there, you will not see your overlay. So if you're having trouble seeing your overlay, make sure you check your opacity and make sure it's at 1. All right, so I made sure I actually had a background before I put my overlay. So that is how you create an overlay, and that is how you have your opacity. So the opacity is the visibility of your overlay. So I picked a random background, and then here is my car. So I can clearly see my car. And to edit your overlay, spot directing, change overlay, and then it says the name of my overlay here. I can scale it to make it as small as I want or as big as I want. I'm gonna make it, pretty, we're gonna make it, pretty reasonable size just so I can show you the visibility. I'm going to enter this code just for the fun of it. I'm just placing my overlay here. Um, and I always put the opacity afterwards because what it's telling episode that I want this to shift before the opacity. So the reason why I do that is because sometimes when you in episode, you notice how your overlays, you can kind of see your overlays being placed. It doesn't just smoothly be there. It's because typically people put the opacity first and then it shifts. So I rather have it shift while it's not visible. So that way when readers see the story, they don't have to see that glitch that happens. So I usually put the opacity last. So I'm going to show you how to fade in. So I'm going to put the opacity at 0. And then after everything is settled, then I'll put at overlay. And this is the name of my overlay here. This is a episode overlay. Car side pink. I'm going to enter that here. And I'm going to say opacity 1 in 5. So basically, I'm given the duration of when I want my card to be visible. So I'm saying 1 meaning that it's very visible, 0 meaning it's not visible. 0.5 meaning it's half visible. So I want my card to be completely visible in 5 seconds. It is fading in. So that is what it means. So I want to say at pause for a beat. So let's see if it works. Again, I just did a little spot directing. And as you can see, fade it perfectly in. I don't know if you can see that. Let's do it one more time so you guys can see it. As you can see, it's not there at all. And look, it faded in. That is how you do it. At overlay, name of your overlay, opacity, 1 in however many seconds you want it to show up. Now, let's say you want it to fade out. This goes for any overlay. I'll have the opacity already at 1, but what I'm going to do is say I want the opacity at 0. Again, 0 meaning that you do not want it to be seen. And I'm going to put in 5. So meaning I want the opacity, I want my overlay to be completely gone or non-visible in 5 seconds. That is what that means. That is how you fade in your opacity. And that is how you fade in overlays. So let's see if this works. See, as you can see, completely visible. And then now it's fading out. Let's try that one more time. Completely visible, fading out. That is how you fade in, fade out your overlays using opacity. Again, I have my overlay created. I have my opacities here. And then at overlay, name of my overlay, opacity 0 and 5. If I want my overlay to be not seen, but I want it to fade in, I'll change this number to 0. And then I'll change this number to 1. And the duration of time I want it to be seen. That is how you do it. I hope that answers all your questions. I'm so sorry. I'm still getting used to talking while filming. So I'll eventually get better at it. If you guys have any questions about anything that I've talked about today, please leave a comment down below or follow me on Instagram. And I'm going to show you my Instagram right here. So follow me on Instagram at lolorose.rates. Here we go. Follow me on Instagram and message me if you have any questions. That way I can help you. Or leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer all your questions. Bye.